What happened?
So he's gonna make you famous.
Steven Cordeiro, KR Sports for Fight Hub TV, right here with Javier Meza. Man, it's my first time talking to you, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the time, man. You're in your home state, right? Like, I don't know how far you are, like where your city, how far your city is from here, but just what's that like, man? Getting to kind of perform, closer and closer to home. People, I'm sure, driving out. I'm sure getting the DMs for tickets, all that stuff. What's that like?
Oh, I mean, it's cool. It's a great feeling. I've been fighting here growing up as an amateur, but now as a pro, it's way bigger. Like, it's on a big card, big opportunity. So, I mean, yeah, it's like a dream come true. I've always wanted to fight close to home and being we're about 4.5 hours away from where I live, so just down the street. So
yeah, that's not too far. It's a stone's throw away. they're coming, I'm sure.
Yep.
Man, you're on the card with Virgil Ortiz. You said you fought a lot in the amateurs around this area. Were you around the same time as him, or was he like a little bit older than you maybe, and you were but you heard about him? I don't know. What's your kind of history with Virgil in the amateurs?
So he was I was fighting. I think he was already pro when I was already coming up fighting in the amateurs. But I know we both did win the Golden Glove State tournament, and so we both have our pictures in the gym around there with what's his name, Errol Spence Jr. and other world champions have been up there. So it's pretty cool.
I was going to say, it has to be motivating, right? You see the names like that, it's obviously where you want to go, right? Headlining your own cards, pay-per-views, things like that.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's cool. I mean, growing up, I wanted to win that tournament because I knew the fighters from Texas that came and won it. And then being able to win it, and then now being able to fight on this big of a platform, it's awesome.
That's awesome, brother. How'd you end up linking up with Joel right here?
So I actually ran into another person, Juan Valdez, a while back, and he sent me to go train with Jimmy Montoya. And so I was going to train with Jimmy Montoya, and he ended up calling Coach, and Coach to work with me, and that's how I met up with Coach. And so I've been with Coach for a little over a year now, and I've been working, grinding, and I love it down there. I mean, it feels like home when I'm down there training, so I love it. All the hard work is paying off.
You go to that Cajun spot across the street? The Cajun spot?
I tried it, but no.
Right. Oh, well, man, tell me about Javier. Just what have you kind of taken from your time with him in your gym?
Well, since the time I met Javier, like I said, it was a random way of meeting him. Jimmy Montoya, an older coach, an older boxing trainer, who trained me at one point for my world title fight, he just called me. I randomly got a call from him and said, "Hey, there's a kid in Texas that I want you to work with." I said, "Really?" Well, I've known Jimmy for many, many years, and I had a lot of respect for him. And I said, if it comes from Jimmy, he must be a good fighter, because Jimmy will not take anybody. He will not take any fighter if he doesn't think he's got potential. So he says, "Hey, this kid is good." And this is his words. He goes, "I want you to train him. This kid is a good-looking kid." He goes, "He's going to make a lot of money." I go, "Okay."
Right.
And then he says, "Well, how can I?" He goes, I'll get in touch with him. He'll call you, and you talk to him." So then I called him, and I started getting to know him. So then when I called Jimmy, I go, "So what do you want me to do? Train him?" He goes, No. I want you to train him. I want you to manage him. I want you to do everything." So, okay, Jimmy, I'll do whatever. So along the road, I met him, and he came around. He comes from a good school. His coach brought him, his amateur coach brought him in to nationals, a lot of big tournaments in the amateurs. So, he comes from a great school. And most of all, what I like about Javier is very disciplined kid. Obviously, he's not perfect. He needs to learn some things like communication. But other than that, outside the ring, he's a great kid, very humble, very respectful, and religious as well. So, his family taught him well. But in the ring, he's got a lot of potential. Once I knew at one point that he beat Grant Flores in the amateurs, because Grant Flores he's always been a tough kid, and in the amateurs, he's always been respected. But when I heard that he beat Grant Flores, I go, wow, he must have something. So when I saw him, I said, this guy has a lot of potential. So we've been working since, and he's shown a lot, and he's improving. He's improving in every way in the sport, inside and outside the sport. He's only getting better. He's maturing. I mean, with the fights that he has right now, he's doing really good. He's fought some experienced fighters, and it's only making him better.
Right. And he's out of your gym, man. I'm sure, obviously there's a lot of great guys in your gym. Got a lot of big fighters there. Just want to talk about, the last time I saw you, man, we were in Japan. It didn't work out for MJ really. Just what happened there? It seemed like it took MJ just wasn't pulling the trigger. I don't know what happened.
I honestly thought MJ had the potential to beat him, but sometimes fighters don't really get that education of the outside world. Sometimes they believe in they believe in themselves, they believe in their ability, but sometimes they get so many distractions. And I think MJ brought a lot of people from his country, a lot of important people from the government, people that are very, very, very important out there, and he never expected to feel so much pressure, amongst all the people that he brought with him, because he felt he was sure he could win and he could have won the fight, but he said it. He goes, "I like myself trying to please other people, and I just lost myself in there." He goes, "I knew there was a lot of people behind me there, watching me fight. My country was watching me, and I just sort of blocked myself at a point, and I just felt overwhelmed." So he goes, "He never hurt me." He says, "It never hurt me, but for some reason I just felt in my head like, man, all these people here watching me, they expect me to win." So, and I blocked myself.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that same weekend, that same day for us in Japan was Crawford Canelo. I know we talked about it the day before. You really didn't think Crawford would be able to hurt Canelo, and I wouldn't say he really hurt him, but he got enough power to get Canelo's respect, right? Just what was your take on that performance by Terence Crawford?
Honestly, all my respect for Crawford, and like I said, I've always said it, and you've seen it in my interviews. To me, the best fighter, pound for pound, number one, it was always for me, and my list was always Terence Crawford. But honestly, like Julio Cesar Chavez, like every other coach, every other fighter, former fighter, we never thought he would beat Canelo. Why? Because usually we see Canelo's fights, everything is made for him to win in every way. So I figure, man, there's 3 divisions. This guy, I figured this fight will go the distance and Canelo will win, because I figured as soon as Crawford feels the power or the weight on Canelo, he's going to move around, Canelo's going to apply pressure, and he's going to go a decision where he's going to win. I didn't think he will knock him out, but I think because Crawford is really smart and crafty, but I never expected for Crawford to smother him the way he did, because Crawford, he was in front of him at times, and he waited for Canelo to make a move and counter him and smother him, and basically took his confidence. Because after that, just picking him with the jab, because I saw him as a southpaw, just touching him, inviting him in and countering him. Canelo didn't have a plan after that. His corner didn't have a plan after that. So they couldn't make adjustments. Honestly, watching the fight over and over again, I said, what happened here? Let me analyze this, what happened in this fight. Me being in that corner, what could I have done? And there's a lot of things that could have been done. But there was no adjustments in the fight. The plan of attack was the same from beginning to end, and it never changed.
Oscar De La Hoya mentioned something about that he kind of thinks maybe Canelo needs just a different voice in the corner. He was saying maybe he needs to leave Eddie. I don't know. Is that something you see as a coach, that maybe just sometimes fighters need to hear another voice?
I'm really not gonna say that's the case, honestly, because in boxing has always been like the fighter's winning, everything is like, hey, you're doing great, good job. And the day he looks bad, everything goes back to, you need a new coach, you need to change. That's always been, a fighter can have 20, 30 fights, and if he wins, man, you're great. But the day you take a little bump on the road, and then everything goes to your coach. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how his camp went. Remember, Canelo has a life, he has a family, and he's human as well, what went wrong, we don't know. We can just criticize. But, I don't think that's the case, because at this point, changing towards the end of his career is not going to benefit him. I think it's going to make him worse. I don't know if he has maybe 2 or 3 more fights in his career, and changing is adjusting to somebody else in a short period of time, something that has been already there for many, many years, it's hard.
Right.
Because when a fighter comes to me, for example, this kid came to me, he was trained by him for so many years. I'm not going to change him in 1 or 2 fights. It's going to take us 5, 6 fights to adjust because he's still under his guidance, his instructions, and his style, and that's how it is. I've always said it. I can never change a fighter in 2, 3 fights. It's going to take time. It's going to take time because he already has a style. He comes from a different school, So I just think that maybe they just need to sit down and talk about, a different strategy or make some adjustments themselves and go back and watch the fight again and say, hey, you know what, we should have done this. This should have been done. We did this wrong. And caption some of the things that went wrong in the fight. Right. That's what I think.
Just next week was supposed to be Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul. I feel like last time I brought that up to you, you were like, talk to me about real boxing or something like that.
Talk to me about real boxing.
Right? But I don't know, what's your take on it, being canceled and the whole drama with that?
I mean, I just see it like a soap opera, man, because, come on, Gervonta Davis is a 130-pounder. I mean, Terrence Crawford beat Canelo 3 divisions up. I mean, a 130-pounder can beat a 200-pounder? I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I could say, no, Jake Paul's going to knock him out. And at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, Gervonta Davis is going to win. I really don't. I don't want to have an opinion on it.
Right.
I mean, to me, it wasn't even a fight from the beginning. That's why when you wanted to talk to me about it, I walked away and said, hey, talk to me about real boxing. That's not real boxing.
Right, for sure. No, just last one, just because it is kind of crazy. I mean, it is real boxing. But it's kind of weird that we're here like 10 years later. Like it sounds like Floyd versus Pacquiao might be happening again. Have you heard this? And it's like a real fight. Like they want a real fight.
I've heard a lot of things, man. But I don't know. Everybody's opinion is different.
Right.
Everybody's opinion is different. And honestly, in my opinion, if I go back, I've seen a lot of fighters since I was a kid, since I was fighting myself, since I was a professional, and since I became a coach. I've seen a lot of fighters reach the max of the sport. Made a lot of millions of dollars. But I also seen a lot of fighters end up with nothing, And honestly, I saw the story with Mayweather and Conor McGregor. You saw when Conor McGregor was broke. He had no money in the bank. And what they did, they created a fight. They sold to the people, the UFC, and boxing together, and they made millions. He helped them. I honestly think, I could be wrong. I don't know, but Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting anymore. Manny Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. He fought Mario Barrios. I watched the fight. It was a draw. Honestly, it was a sparring session to me. I saw it like a sparring session.
Who's sparring who?
Both of them. They were both sparring each other.
Right.
I didn't see a real fight in that fight, honestly. I saw the fight and I saw it again, and I would see Mario Barrios fought against my fighter at one point, Akhmedov, and I've seen him fight with other tough fighters, and fighting a veteran fighter like Pacquiao. I didn't see him aggressive. He could have done a lot more. At points, he would throw 5, 6 punches, and he wouldn't even land one, and they were all to the chest. Yes, I understand why they're doing it. Maybe to help out Manny. I don't know, because Floyd don't need to be fighting again. I think Pacquiao does, but let's watch, see what happens. But in reality, when they were going to fight the first time early in their careers, it would have been a great fight. They let it marinate for years. By that time, already Manny Pacquiao had got knocked out and whatever. And then they fought. Obviously, Mayweather just, put rounds in his pocket and he walked away with a win. Now, at this point, I just think it's more to help somebody.
Right. Just lastly, Joel, just what's going on with Bivol? I know he's had the surgery, he's recuperating. What's the latest you could tell me? When can we see him?
The last thing I know about Bivol is he's already almost done with his recovery from the surgery. I think he's already doing a little bit of training. He's back in the gym, and we're just waiting to see what's next for him.
Right. Awesome. Well, always appreciate the time. Javier, man, tell the fans where they can follow you, brother, and see you do your work on Saturday.
So y'all can follow me on Instagram, Gallito Mesa806, and stay tuned. It's gonna be fireworks on Saturday. We're ready.
Awesome, man. Excited to see you do your work, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.